It's the NFL on EA Sports. And this one features Josh Jacobs. He really helped drive them a week ago with a 3-touchdown game. It's the Raiders and the Chargers. All that and more coming up next.
From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. Today it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the L.A. Chargers. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams...
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So the Charger offense making its way out, and at the controls is the league's second leading passer a year ago. At 25 years of age, out of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means...
And right away,
yes.
He lost the football.
Wow.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time.
No.
I will guarantee you, that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play 1 there?
No, that was never in the script, because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
The Raiders offense heading out with their new man under center for 2023, the former Patriot, former 49er, Jimmy Garoppolo.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator of success, but in his case, it is.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Now the 7-year veteran, Austin Eckler. And Eckler is going to pick up a Chargers first down as he'll be brought down at the 38-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
First down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 23 carries, 79 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Now he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down.
They go with the empty set there, 5 receivers in the formation. Normally, you want to have a running back in to block, but in this case, he's lined up to the right, and he ends up getting the football. A lot of confusion caused defensively, and it turns into a big play.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 35-yard line. Flush to his right, and he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Herbert now. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beating them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Oh, there's going to be a little bit of regret there because they certainly had the chance to get off the field here, just giving up a field goal attempt. But they couldn't get that stop on third down. Now they have to hunker down because guess what? That drive continues.
So not quite a first and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now Herbert off the bootleg. That's complete right around the 8. A nice display of power, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Option play, and they'll give to Eckler.
Stop him
and
right
he's
there.
brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Now it's Herbert.
He's going to throw.
And it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
It becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them.
2nd and 4.
But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 5 catches, 53 yards. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo.
Yes.
And how about the
yes, first down.
Leads the league in receiving, making all the big catches, and becoming a bona fide #1 guy for his team.
It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from, working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Now the NFL's leading rusher a season ago, Josh Jacobs. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down.
Throw.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Sebastian Joseph Day breaking through for the sack. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The offense heading back out as we take a closer look at Austin Eckler.
First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
Well, I'm sure he said challenge accepted. And Eckler is going to pick up a Chargers first down as he'll get this up to the 39. Play action. It's Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. On second down, here's Herbert. He'll get this over the middle here to Palmer. A 5-yard pass on first down and another 5-yard connection there. Herbert.
Oh, my God.
Side is complete on the diving effort. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Kind of pressure.
The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Herbert throwing again. Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A Charger first there as Herbert finds Williams. On play action, they'll throw.
Wow.
He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
Eckler.
There he goes.
Fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2.
Just like
he'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal. Eckler again. And I don't think he got in. He did not. They mark him short of the goal line. This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal.
They should, because...
They'll let the fullback
Yes.
Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here. A major letdown. This is
this is just
for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Chargers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
They hold them.
Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
That's
complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. Powering his way forward. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But you talk about the defense for these Chargers. They're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And this is what we talk game inside the game. Top 5 passing offense versus top 5 passing defense. I wouldn't be surprised defensively if they change up coverages a bit more than usual to try and combat what they expect to see. You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs.
They're going to stop him right there.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Great effort by Derwin James on the stop. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the
touchdown.
Touchdown Raiders.
Yes.
Hunter Renfrow. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Raiders have cut it back within a score. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that one makes it 14-7. That time a 6-play drive. And it was Hunter Renfrow who capped things off with a touchdown reception.
Good.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And Eckler is going to pick up a Chargers first down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line.
Eckler's long been one of the most underrated players in the NFL, but he's now starting to get his due. 915 yards, a career best last season, with 13 touchdowns on the ground.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42. You look at this Raiders defense. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking out the number 1
so that means
offense in the league.
They make kick.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away.
You want to punt? Go
He was
ahead.
only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
Yep.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Raiders heading out to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last
20.
time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw.
Throw.
Is incomplete.
Well, the gap man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Joey Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or two inside the 45-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
They let him ride big time.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out. Ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
2nd down and 8. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Left side, Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Eckler now between the tackles. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Chargers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And we pause for an injury here. It looks like it's Keenan Allen who's in some pain down there. More from L.A. in a moment. Trying to punch it in with Eckler.
Yes,
and just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Here's Herbert. Touchdown, Chargers. Gerald Everett taking it in. And the Chargers go up by 2 touchdowns. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 21-7.
Yeah, very impressive the way that they moved the football. Full command of their playbook, full command of the way they wanted to attack.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And it's now 21-7. That time, a 9-play drive. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They need to make up some ground, and they did.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. They convert on third with a gain of 22. First catch of this game, a big one. Of course, he had the big performance last week when he was AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, but that was so last week, wasn't it? I mean, look at what he's doing now. I think he's trying to exceed what he did in that game and continue to ascend in this season.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. The Raiders at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the tough 0-2 start, but come off a very important first win of the season last time out.
And it's tough when you find yourself at an early season crossroads, but that's exactly what they did. At 0-2, they were thinking if we fall to 0-3, things can spin out of control. But now at 1-2, they shouldn't feel the need to press out there. They're now back in a good spot, find a way to win some games, and keep moving forward.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left.
Wow.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Yes!
He hits Adams complete. Touchdown! Devontae Adams, 26 yards. And the Raiders have got it back to within a score.
Obviously, Brandon, they couldn't get it all back with just one score, but that touchdown chips into the lead, and now it makes the comeback a little bit more manageable.
Carlson now to add the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So this drive spans 7 plays. And Devontae Adams able to finish things with a touchdown reception. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, had he opted for the touchback. Austin Eckler and the Charger offense reclaims center stage. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Up the middle with Eckler. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 15 more yards there, and quickly another 1st down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
A little short pass. This is Everett. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Herbert's throw taken in by Palmer.
Catch number 4
Never
for
seen
him
a
on the
pass in my
afternoon,
life
and it'll
like
give
that.
him a first
That was
down.
a good pass. That's one. Wow.
The handoff, it's Eckler. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 2nd and 5. Back to throw here, Herbert. They'll find Everett there, complete. And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. Here's Herbert.
Yes.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
Traditionally, as a defense, your #1 job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the
Yes,
pocket.
yes. Good.
So that could be an important 1st sack if they do want to turn things around.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, Herbert.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good.
And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. So that one on target, and it adds to this 1st half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Now Abdullah, the return.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. He'll get this to about the 38.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now.
On 2nd down, Jacobs.
Yes. Good.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 46 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. Joey Bosa. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this 1st half.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. A quick throw out to Adams on the perimeter. They'll give him 4 yards there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Garoppolo.
What are you waiting on?
The throw left sideline falls incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. L.A. readies for its next possession. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points.
But
and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. After this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on second down. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table.
Anyways.
But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. And Dula to return. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here, 1st and 10. At the 31-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun.
Yes.
And that's complete to Adams. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 4.
There's Garoppolo to throw.
Oh, wow.
And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Why so
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
I don't understand why he has to throw. They have to decide to throw far. I don't get it.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt.
I have to kick the ball again.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. The offense heading back out as we take a closer look at Austin Eckler. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's got a 1st down following a pickup of about 13 as we will take a pause here for the 2-minute warning. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. On 1st and 10, Herbert. On the screen, this is Eckler. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. More from L.A. in a moment. Second and 10. Herbert now. A little short pass. This is Everett into space at the 45. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
from the 50. Here's Herbert. Finds Spiller on the check down.
So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now it's Herbert. A little short pass. This is Everett. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Herbert. And we find the open man. That's complete. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his first touchdown of the year. And the Chargers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead is up to 15 now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And in the end, it was Mike Williams who capped the drive with a touchdown reception. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Garoppolo now, first down throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Meanwhile, Garoppolo's, and this throw brought in here by Mayer.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Garoppolo's throw pulled in by Renfro. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Here's 3rd and 3. On play action, it's Garoppolo. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
Can't believe this for real.
And they're on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as we say goodbye to September and take a look around the NFL here on this first day of October. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where it was the visiting Broncos who were able to come in and get the road victory. Russell Wilson, excellent in the victory as his guys moved to 3-1 after 4 games. From there, we head south to Texas to check on the Cowboys at home at AT&T Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. C.D. Lamb, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Brock Purdy with 3 touchdown passes.
We're accustomed to seeing strong quarterback play. We got that in the first half from Justin Herbert. He had it going right away. 2 touchdown passes in the first quarter, 2 more in the second. 4 touchdown passes all told. And he's likely not done yet.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome
And that
everyone
is our
back for
halftime
quarter
report.
number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they
Yes, finally.
And
Yes.
off to the races down the right side. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. More from L.A. in a moment.
Wow.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Throw. Good. Yes.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Austin Hooper from 6 yards away. And the Raiders come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this is back to an 8-point game. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. A little short pass. This is Everett, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down. Now a give running left is Eckler. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An even 100 yards on the ground for Eckler here, and that's a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Herbert operating from the red zone. This is caught. And the Chargers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. More from L.A. in a moment. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. On the give, this is Eckler. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Eckler with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to stretch out their lead.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead is up to 15 now. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs.
They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Going deep here for Allen.
And this is incomplete.
Wow.
Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Almost got it.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. More from L.A. in a moment.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. They'll run here with Eckler. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. Justin Herbert looking to pass.
Oh, he tries to force it in.
Yes!
And it's
Yes!
intercepted.
Interception.
And the
Yes!
Raiders are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. And right side, they're going to go option here. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he's stopped in the backfield.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Yeah.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Wow.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of
They have the best chance they can get.
Because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Austin Eckler and the Charger offense reclaim center stage. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. First down, and they stick with Eckler. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 137 yards rushing for him now as this sensational afternoon continues. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. It's Eckler again. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. Play action. It's Herbert. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. This is caught. And he'll be out of bounds. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Eckler.
Got it. That's it.
He'll score. Touchdown, Chargers.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Extra point try now from Dicker. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Raiders offense ready to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes.
Wow.
Well-timed effort there by Derwin James. A sack from his safety position.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Garoppolo looks to throw.
Wow, not again.
Go here. He lost the football.
Right.
And picked up by the Chargers. And they'll have it just 5 yards away from pay dirt here, 1st and goal. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Going on the ground with Eckler. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Eckler again. And he will not get in. In fact, he might have lost a yard. Back to the 2. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2.
He's going to throw.
They'll run for it with Eckler.
Oh, my.
And he's
Yes.
not going to get in.
Finally.
They stopped him at the 1.
Finally.
They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied. And the Raiders hang tough down near the goal line. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the 1st down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped, and they got it done on that play.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
Don't let him
Last
have a
time
safety.
out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units. And they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball. But an easy way to make it up to him. Get out there now and get some points on this drive.
They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a 1st down. He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself how much of that is him with a great performance and how much of that is the defense just loosening up because they have a big lead.
This is 2nd and 8. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. Davis now to return it.
Wow.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Here's Herbert.
Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. A little short pass. This is Everett. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Final minute now of the third quarter. On second down, Eckler.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15.
That one good for 13 and a Charger first. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
On first down, Justin Herbert.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield and man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays just like that one we saw there.
Yep.
And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
So out come the Raiders.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Garoppolo.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game.
They're going to play? Wow.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Raiders try it on fourth down, but to no avail. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
Yes.
And the Raiders are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle.
A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that fourth down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 5.
Garoppolo now.
Same target. It's Jacobs again.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now Garoppolo.
And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. More from L.A. in a moment.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. From midfield, here's Garoppolo.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. More from L.A. in a moment.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. That's caught by Hooper. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Ay, Dios.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Garoppolo, got to have this one.
And he is caught.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. No reason.
And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Here's Jacobs on
Yes.
1st and 10.
Yes. Oh, my God. Almost
And
got
he'll
him.
take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Raiders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to 18.
Only a miracle.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Chargers. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he tried it out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let them go out there with a little bit more confidence.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down L.A. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Once more, here's Eckler. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. More from L.A. in a moment. 3rd down and 10. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Raiders. Their defense was able to force the punt a moment ago, but that's really the first of about 8 steps that need to go right for them to get back in this as they start here 1st and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And it's complete to Adams. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards, the final tally. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be 2nd down. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Oh, and a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the 1st. He can really smell 800 catches right now because that last one puts him at 799, knocking on the door. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Garoppolo again. Short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on
incomplete.
2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
On third down, here comes Jacobs. They hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll bring up fourth. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo.
Yes.
He's got his target. That's complete.
Wow.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Wow, first and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. And that catch, he just hit number 800 in his NFL career.
And just think, that puts you in top 35 range all time in the NFL in terms of number of catches. One significant...
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
Still have a long way to go.
And the Raiders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. And the Chargers offense back out and ready to go. What was once a really comfortable lead is not so comfortable anymore. Down to a 2-score game after they've seen a pair of touchdowns go against them on those last 2 drives.
Yeah, they've got to find a way to get off of autopilot right now, okay? Get back to what was working for them earlier. Understand that they still have a 2-score lead, so it's not dire, but at the same time, okay, guys, let's mash the gas. Let's get going again. Let's have some fun.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Herbert. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Herbert on first down now. Finding Williams once more, complete. And he's brought down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Herbert now. He'll get this over the middle here to Palmer. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 23 yards on the play. Herbert operating from the red zone. Caught by Allen. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Now 2nd and 3. Eckler now between the tackles. And he's brought down. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find...
And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Chargers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th-quarter lead. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead is
They're
up
going
to
to need
18
a miracle.
now.
So the drive winds up going
this game.
75 yards in 7 plays.
And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raiders heading out to take over. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10.
At their own 23. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He coughed it up. And picked up by the Chargers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Wow.
And I don't know that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah,
yes.
Not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down.
So they didn't it was overturned.
Garoppolo looks to throw. On the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. He was out there waving his arms saying throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And they're going to speed things up here. From the gun, it's Garoppolo.
On the out route, this is Adams with a catch.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
They're trying everything they can right now, but they are not going to make it. So
he finds his man, complete.
It's
Jacobs.
55,
and he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 4.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo.
Very quick throw. He's got Myers.
2-minute warning.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. To throw is Garoppolo.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up.
More from L.A. in a moment. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10.
They don't. He's
a throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down.
Take
Even
you
though he's still in the
forever to
pocket,
throw.
he had a receiver
have
out to
anywhere
his
to
side,
throw.
so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Here's Hoyer.
Wow, again.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man
First and
complete.
goal.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
8 seconds. That's it. The game.
Hoyer.
Nothing is going to happen here. Only a score. They get a
And this is
touchdown.
caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Austin Hooper.
They will never
a
get
beast in the
near.
red zone with his
Not even
second
near.
touchdown of the game.
And the Raiders are able to cut into that deficit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And this is going to be taken in by the Chargers, and it appears they're going to win this football game. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
And with that kneel down at the end of the game, partner, they now get to 3 and 1. This is a good football team we saw in this game.
It is indeed getting to 2 games above 500.
Wow.
And I know early on, while they said they wanted to
That's it.
win every game, they thought they would be solid with a 3-1 start, and here they are.
Yeah, you break your schedule up almost into quarters, every 4 games, and assess 3 and 1. Any team would take that.
Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking.
Funny if you
Charles'
like
defenses,
points.
meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did they? I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.
So for Los Angeles, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.